There are so many different reasons why we avoid our clutter and we avoid the task of decluttering, and many of them are psychological. And I'm going to be covering a few of them in this video. Decluttering brings up a lot of uncomfortable emotions. I'll give you some samples. That ick feeling when you stare at that pile of assorted pieces of paper, those estate documents, having to think about the stuff in the junk drawer that you need to touch and sort through and throw things away. The clothes that are in your closet that maybe no longer fit, maybe are out of style, maybe you purchased them and you never really liked them ever. All that stuff generates a whole bunch of negative feelings: disappointment, sadness, regret, frustration, ick, that ick feeling. But it's not just negative feelings that emerge from our clutter. It's also literal energy that is coming towards you from the clutter. You know why that is? It's because everything that exists consists of energy. We are actually comprised of energy, and so is the paper. So are the clothing pieces. So is anything that's in your home that you might call clutter. And so we have this dance of negative energy when we have clutter in our home. And what do we do when we sense negative energy? We naturally are repelled by negative energy because we are interested in keeping our bodies clean of uncomfortable things, clean of negative energy. But then what's going to happen to your clutter? What happens to your clutter when you let it lie there is it gets bigger. That negative energy starts to expand and take up more precious space in your precious home. So we need to be aware of the energy that is happening when we have clutter in our home. And we need to prioritize, like I told you in video one, getting rid of the clutter. The other really fascinating thing about clutter is that we are attached to our clutter, and that is also a psychological dynamic. It's not just a random pile of things, it's a pile of things that we have decided are ours, are things that are worth our money, time, and space, things that we've inherited or we've been given or gifted, things that we've created or things our family, our children have created. We're all attached to this kind of stuff. We all have stories and beliefs about the value and the history and the sentimental stuff in this stuff. And that attachment, those stories also make it very difficult for us to feel like we can handle this clutter. It makes it very difficult to feel like we can be separate from the things that we've decided we've attached ourselves to. So here's the lesson for video number 2. How do we overcome this entanglement of energy and attachment and clutter when we want a clean space, when we want clarity in our minds and in our hearts? What we need to do is we need to elevate the compassion that we have for ourselves in the decluttering process. We have to be super kind to ourselves. We have to be super patient with ourselves so we can actually begin and stay consistent in our decluttering work. And we also have to decide that it is okay. It is more than okay for us to go with our gut, with our instinct that is telling us it's time to separate from these particular things in our space. So, leaving you in video 2 with hope that you feel even more empowered to touch your clutter, to really handle it, to make those decisions, and to have some fun with it. Because after all, you are taking care of yourself psychologically when you declutter. Let's move to video 3, where I'm going to teach you more lessons about how to successfully declutter your space.